and welcome back.
Yes.
As you can see, we have two very special guests today, and basically staying in shape and being healthy for those who are aiming to have these goals in life is possibly known already about the benefits of Mediterranean and diet.
Yes, we have with us today is Ervina from Indonesian International Institute for Life Science and chef. He's also the owner of Signora Pasta, and chef Giuseppe Coglitore, if I get, or Chef Pino, right?
Pino.
Yes, and to talk more about Mediterranean diet, what it is basically. So what is Mediterranean diet?
Well, this is actually the Mediterranean diet. Is actually the diet coming from the Mediterranean Sea.
Okay.
So you see, like this is like a part of the southern Italia, and then also the part of the southern of Europe, and also the part of the north, a little bit of the north of Africa.
Okay.
So all the regions that actually connected with the Mediterranean Sea, we call it Mediterranean diet, because they have like typically the same pattern how to eating or their daily habits in eating a food and processing the food every day.
But is this like somewhat like of a diet, like a plan, a diet, or is it just they grew up eating that and then until they grow old?
What we call diet here is actually not as like you plan to let's say like lose weight, or it's not a plan that you would like to gain more weight or gain more muscles, but this typically diet is actually a pattern. And this pattern of diet is actually coming from what you have in those regions, because it's in the Mediterranean Sea. What is exactly crops there? What is exactly the agricultural, let's say, commodities in those areas that can beneficial and let's say like commonly eaten by the regions. That's what we call Mediterranean.
So basically, this Mediterranean diet,
Mediterranean diet is 1950. Dr. Angel Case, nutrizionista, the doctor, you know better than me because make many tests around the population around the world after the Second War. So they discovery, Dr. Angel Case, discovery in the people, in the population around Mediterranean Sea, especially
the poor, basically.
The poor people, because the poor people difficult to eat meat. So they use a lot of olive oil, fruit, vegetable, cereal, legumes. It is the best combination, the best formula for the good healthy. In the end, they check also for the people possible to buy the meat, different eating. And they found many cardiovascular problems, and the long life is in the dieta Mediterranean.
So basically, with Mediterranean diet, the existence of us being alive is longer.
I think there's
more benefits to it. Yes,
there's a lot of research. There's a lot of research and clinical trials, and also some let's say comparative research coming from. So they actually compare the different populations which use the Mediterranean diet as their basic, and also which use non-Mediterranean diet as their basic of lifestyles. And they actually do this cohort study that it takes like 20 years, 30 years to see what is actually the real benefit of the Mediterranean diet. And there have been proof that people would live with Mediterranean diet, they can live longer. Longer by, let's say, like they don't have, they have a low risk of cardiovascular diseases. They also have a low risk of cancer that we've been talking previously.
In Italy, especially in Italy, in Sardinia, university from America, they start to check one area because they age the people around 110, 120 years. And they start to ask why these people, and the people, can you imagine, they are in the good condition with the mind,
they can still walk,
they make normal life. It is very strange why our body don't go down. It's big because in the vegetable, the vitamin, protein from the milk, the bread, also the carbohydrate. They have the good olive oil, omega, the fat insaturi. So this is the very important.
So what's the most important ingredient, though, you would say, in a Mediterranean diet that actually made the diet itself really
Is it olive
healthy and
oil?
beneficial?
Olive oil is very important.
One of the examples is
Or
the
is it
olive
because,
oil.
like
but
you mentioned, lack of meat? They don't really eat a lot of meat, do they?
Yes, we need the meat, but not
Not too much.
Not too much.
Okay.
There is the pyramid for the food.
Yeah.
This is like a food circle.
Yes,
like
yes,
that.
yes.
Well, there's actually 4 ingredients that can help you with, or let's say typically Mediterranean diet ingredients. First is actually for the Mediterranean diet, they eat a lot of cereals, legumes, and seed.
Ooh, cereals. Okay.
Cereals,
Okay.
legumes, and seed. So this is actually the basic part of the pyramid.
Okay.
Write it down.
Okay.
Start buying groceries.
Breakfast.
I need that. I need that.
Tasya, start to like, okay, this is
Start
gonna
to
be like
write
my
all-
planning
That's
meals.
right, exactly.
Yes, cereal.
And then cereals, legumes, and seed. And then second one is actually rich of vegetables, and one of that is actually pomodoro or tomato.
Yeah.
Tomato, okay.
Yeah.
And we know tomato is very rich in antioxidants. We call it lycopene.
Okay.
And those are more powerful compared to vitamin C.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in tomatoes.
Okay.
Tomatoes.
Pomodoro.
Yes.
You speak Italian, no?
The big tomatoes or
Yeah.
the cherry tomatoes?
It's
Can you imagine the pomodoro,
Yes.
the century one, the 14th century, because the pomodoro arrived in Italy with the Cristoforo Colombo.
Exactly. And that's not coming
Because
from
only in
Italy,
America,
right?
Also in the world,
yeah.
right, Teresa?
But it's grow very well in the Mediterranean country, and then like it accepted very well in the Mediterranean country, and it's been used and immersed in all the typically cuisines
Okay.
and all the typically formulations of cooking there. Therefore, like people eating, let's say the pomodoro or the tomatoes, they also
Pomodoro is
get
number
all
one.
this benefit.
And because when you look at also a lot of Italian food, also they use a lot of tomatoes.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Pizza, pasta.
For example, I remember
You're as a
like
chef, for example. Do you
Yes,
use a
but I
lot?
tell you very simple. The pizza. Can you imagine the pizza was
Without-
bread?
yeah.
Yeah.
without a tomato sauce,
Yes.
it's not a pizza.
And some people, the idea
Yeah.
to take the bread,
Okay.
put in the tomato, some cheese inside, in the oven, and this the pizza.
It becomes a
In
pizza.
the
Just as
end.
simple as that, yeah?
Very simple.
Yeah.
But this the poor people eating this because don't have too much money. It is arrived from the poor people. We need to teach from them
The history basically
Yes.
comes from.
Also, there is other recipe pasta down basil. Now, especially down basil, garlic
Yes.
Yes.
is the
Garlic.
best antioxidant for our body.
Okay.
It's very easy.
Well-
Down basil, garlic, pasta, olive oil. It is the best eating.
Best ingredients, and you get
best
a healthy
ingredient
one.
to make combination for the
Right. Well, we still have more two more
Two more to talk about.
two more ingredients, but we'll take a short break.
Okay,
We'll
we'll
be
continue.
back. Yes, and we're still talking about the Mediterranean diet.
Diet. Don't go anywhere.
Never stop the fucking beat, 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 beat.
Yes, and welcome back to Daybreak. Still with our guest, still talking about Mediterranean diet.
Just now you mentioned the two important diets.
Yes.
Two important ingredients, right? And you have two more. And what are they?
So the first one to remember is cereals, legumes, and seed.
Okay.
The third one is actually the rich of vegetables. One of that is tomatoes.
Okay.
The third one, it's rich in, we call it a fruta mare or seafood.
Okay,
Seafood.
Protein, but coming from the sea. So not protein coming from a meat, but
Yeah.
protein coming from the sea. And this is very, let's say, a typical of Mediterranean diet because it's Mediterranean Sea. It's surrounding by the sea. So people that live there, they actually go for fishing. And when they did the fishings, they actually take the protein coming from the sea.
But
And
what kind of a seafood? Is it anything like
any kind of
fish,
fish.
crabs?
And everything is just rich in omega-3. And omega-3 is very good for your heart and for your brain.
Right.
Those are the three. So, but the consumption of meat is really low there. So this is the protein coming from the sea.
Yes,
That's
also
one of the benefits.
antioxidant, very important.
Exactly.
Yes, antioxidant. The very cheap fish in the end, because they call silver fish, anchovies,
So basically, those are important. Basically, these things.
Exactly. And this typically fish, they are very near with the sea, right? It's the same with Indonesia right now. We're also very near with the sea, but our consumption of fish is still low.
Okay.
So it's like our challenge because in Italy, it's very easy to get a fresh food, especially coming from the sea, and it's quite affordable for the people to buy it. And you can find it everywhere, and it's the same as fresh as they just take it in the morning.
Right.
But let's say in Indonesia, if you would like to take a fresh fish, why it's so difficult?
Yeah.
I think there's let's say like these two type of a different on the food distribution.
That's true.
I think.
But say we want to find a seafood, what is the best one to actually get that you can get in Indonesia?
For the
best type of seafood. What kind of fish maybe?
Listen, there is the many kind of fish, especially with we call cernia here. In Indonesia they call krapu, basi fish. Every fish. Octopus also is very good. Everything also. Also, can you imagine the scream? The scream are very good. Not big quantity, the scream, but it's very good also, everything.
But in Indonesia, though, we see a lot of fried seafood, right? With a lot of the sauces. Is that still healthy or not?
Well, this is also typically in the processing, food processing process compared to the Mediterranean with the Indonesians. With the Indonesians, typically of diet, I cannot, let's say, reject it. We do love fried food. And that is the, let's say, the more conventional, the more easy way to preserve the food by fried. For example, my mom simply fried it everything at home. Right?
In Italy, very, very normally, we use the basi little steam, olive oil, garlic, parsley. This very fantastic. Taste go out. The doctoressa know very well because already try in Italy this kind. Here in Indonesia, they fry too much.
So is that good or no?
Well, for me, it's depend. Remember, there's also the vitamins that can dissolve and need a fat. Right. So some things that fried also can be good for you, but the amount need to be limited.
So everything that is too much when it's not good also.
Exactly.
Not too
and
much,
also, this is typically the different fat that we get from in Italy and also from the Mediterranean diet and also the fat that we get from Indonesia. For example, the fat, the typically fat, or let's say we get it from oil, which is palm oil, right? That's all the basic fat that we have, or let's say the source of fat from the fried food. But in Italy, the basic, or let's say the source of fat is coming from olive oil. This is make it different.
Not too much,
One is palm oil, one
one
is from olive oil. And then olive oil is very rich in omega-3, and also it's very rich, we call it an unsaturated fatty acid, and it's very really good for your cardiovascular diseases.
So if we say we cook with olive oil fish in Indonesia, we're just as healthy. It's good enough.
That's also the different mainstream. Remember, olive oil is not for cooking. It's good
just
for
for
dressing.
Yes, fresh it.
So if you put the olive oil with heat, you will change the structure.
I see.
Change we have the temperature to change.
Exactly.
We need to fry it with the right temperature. No arrive in the maximum one.
Okay.
But it is a change often. It is the problem.
Right.
After you fry it, change again with the new. It is. Some people, they proceed, it is change.
Because most of the
Become
time
not very
also we use olive oil more into salad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's
Not cooking. That's right.
it's the perfect way in order to use the olive
To
oil.
use olive oil,
Remember,
yeah.
the olive oil it's really rich in monounsaturated fatty acid,
Okay.
which means you cannot apply any heat.
Okay.
When you apply heat in
It will change.
it will change the structures, and
Okay.
that's actually benefit for our body, become harmful for your body if you fry.
Okay.
So olive oil for dressing,
Yeah.
palm oil it's for frying.
Frying.
Okay.
All right.
And the fourth one,
And
what
the
is the fourth
yeah.
one?
The fourth one is actually the most powerful one for the Mediterranean diet. Is they drink wine, especially red wine, with milk.
Not too much.
That's
Not
what
too
I
much.
It's
Not too
one
much.
exactly.
One
But
glass.
this is
Un
actually
bicchiere di vino. Okay.
but this is actually make it different. First, you drink it moderately, not
Yes,
too much.
very moderately.
Red wine, and after the meal. So you don't drink a wine with your empty stomach.
Oh, so basically,
Yes.
okay, while eating and also after eating.
After
not
meal,
before
yeah.
meal.
And-
So you have to have something in your stomach first before taking wine.
During the meal.
During and also the end.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
there is the alcohol from the sugar, it is go immediately. If you start to eat and they stop, it is become very good for the health.
But that is very true because when I used to live in Rome also, a lot of old people.
Aroma,
Yeah, and in Rome basically, aroma. We
They
say
still
aroma.
awake.
Togi's feeling very at home right now.
There's a lot of, si dice nonno.
Yes, yes, it's
grandpa,
old people,
yeah. They're very old. They still can, walk. And I was
Yes.
like, and they drink coffee. They enjoy life. Maybe they drink wine also. So, but it says
Yes,
not
one
too
glass,
much.
not too much.
Not
Yeah.
too much.
It is the discovery in Sardinia. The people eating very well, very fresh vegetable. Already. One glass of wine, not too much
Okay.
wine.
Okay, I will start doing that from now on.
But this really is very important for our body. Our body is a complicated machine.
Okay.
Need some your car need
yeah.
this.
Okay.
The food is number one. Now the food is mission.
Okay.
Because we start to lose the way really to eat in the very well. Now
Okay.
we are busy. It is no time to cook in the family.
Yeah.
You tell the nonna, and the nonna, the old people, because they're in the house, are cooking for the young generation.
Okay.
Very important.
But with all this, for example, can we summarize that with all this, that this is from the Mediterranean diet, can we find other ingredients to replace this in Indonesia?
Well, I think as I mentioned to you previously, I mean, like this typically, the diet is actually a pattern, right?
Okay.
And this is really stick with what is actually the agricultural commodities that we have.
here that
Okay.
Of course, this typically, let's say, the food habits and all the pattern from Mediterranean diet. We are not coming from Mediterranean
Yeah.
Sea,
Yeah, true.
but we are coming from Indonesia. But what is actually good, or the resources that we have in order to, let's say, to improve the potential, to get the health benefit as same as Mediterranean diet. And I do believe, as a nutritionist, I do believe we have all the potentials.
Yes.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
we
like
can
we
get them here.
eat a lot of vegetables.
Yes.
Like Indonesian people, we love eat
Fruit, vegetable,
we love to
fish.
eat, let's say, lalapan.
Okay.
I mean, like mention to me how many type of vegetables that you find in gado-gado.
Okay. So a lot
It's
of it
a lot.
basically.
A lot.
Okay.
But in the basic, now we are in the olive oil. You found now very easy to find
Yeah.
Find
everywhere
here in
because the
Indonesia.
people start to enter very well in this culture. And you
Okay.
found everywhere. We have
Yeah.
many. And with the olive oil, everything very fresh. One salad.
Okay.
So tomatoes, wine, olive oil.
That's the ingredients. Well, thank you very much for sharing with us.
Unfortunately, we don't have enough
Chef Pino.
time.
Chef
Grazie,
Pino
grazie.
also.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we can try the wine and all the vegetable
But
ingredients.
remember,
Not too much.
Not
the
too
wine,
much.
the
The wine,
wine
not
is
too
not
much,
too
eh?
much,
Okay.
and it's
One
during
glass
the meal.
when you eating the
During
best.
meals.
Perfecto.
Perfecto.
Thank you very much.
Grazie.
Thank you very much. And after the break, what do we have?
The continuation of our Hawks witness testimony hearing resumes today.